Wednesday morning, a Jefferson County grand jury indicted 26-year-old Benito Juarez, accused of human trafficking and managing a prostitution ring.
In Beaumont and Jefferson County, this is a crime we take extremely seriously. If you are willing to abuse, exploit, ruin people's lives, you will suffer the consequences for doing so.
Investigators say he was involved in holding 4 women hostage at a home in Beaumont, coercing them to perform sexual acts with other men for money and threatening violence if they refused. Those allegations surfaced during a DPS undercover operation at a Holiday Inn on 11th Street, where the women were rescued. John Bennett with Family Services of Southeast Texas says cases like this are more common than many people realize.
Specifically, the proximity to Houston, the proximity to the ports, the proximity to the border, and the fact that we're on the I-10 corridor, which is a pipeline from Los Angeles to Miami. We are geographically in a place that is very prone to human trafficking.
He says the indictment against Juarez represents progress, and recognizing the signs of human trafficking could save more lives.
Typically, when there's a trafficker, they'll be doing all the speaking for the victim. They will not allow the victim to contact friends or family. They will do everything in their power to isolate and control the victim, physically through threats of violence, but also financially and in other ways.
Family Services recently expanded its shelter capacity, allowing it to serve more victims, along with more in-house services.
Things like transportation assistance, food assistance, educational assistance, and vocational assistance, because we want people to be able to come to our shelter and seek immediate safety, but we want to empower these folks to be able to rebuild their lives.
Juarez remains in jail on a $2 million bond.
And you saw him on Taylor's Story to lead us off tonight. And now joining us is John Bennett with Family Services of Southeast Texas. Thank you so much for joining us. We're going to broaden the conversation just a bit. And recently, the expansion at Family Services. Why was that expansion needed, and why was it so immediate?
It was critical for 2 reasons. First off, in 2017, we'd flooded with Hurricane Harvey. It took a tremendous effort and expense to rebuild from that, and right afterwards, Tropical Storm Imelda had, after only 3 months after we reopened, flooded us again. We knew we needed to get out of the floodplain, but we also wanted to be able to serve the community better, with increased capacity, with a newer facility that really is able to let people rebuild their lives in a much more advanced and comfortable way. Our new facility at 6730 Concord Road in Beaumont can now house 144 clients. Previously, we could only shelter 65, so it's a tremendous improvement that we're very proud of and very grateful to our community partners for.
And there was a time that the address was not disclosed. Now
Exactly.
You're disclosing that. Why did you come to the decision to do that?
One of the key features of our new shelter, immediately past the entrance gate, is a Beaumont police substation. What this means is we can now advertise, because anyone who would seek to harm one of our clients, if they were to arrive at our shelter, that's exactly what they would be greeted by, the Beaumont police substation.
This whole topic of human trafficking, sex trafficking, it's just so difficult for a lot of people sitting at home to kind of wrap their minds around what is it and what do the victims look like. Could you explain that a little bit to us? Some parents may be wondering, I'm afraid to send my daughter off to the movies by herself, or that she could become a victim. Could you explain,
of course,
what the typical victim looks like?
The typical victim, there is really no typical victim of human trafficking. This can be from any strata, all walks of life. But typically they're people who, for any number of reasons, are seen as vulnerable by traffickers. They see a lack of family presence, lack of friends, financial needs, destitution. They see someone who they feel that they can coerce and manipulate far easier than they could people in just the general public.
And since your expansion, are those beds starting to fill up?
They have been. This is as I mentioned earlier to Taylor, this is an acute problem in the area. Geographically, just the proximity to the border, the proximity to the fact that we're right on I-10. The ports are a key factor here in why this geographic region is particularly prone to human trafficking. In many places like train stations or bus terminals, you'll see signs telling you the signs of human trafficking, people speaking for someone else, people preventing them from talking to others, just a general sense of unease when you witness their interactions. In the ports, none of those extra eyes exist. It's far easier for traffickers and abusers to get away with it without broader witnesses that they would see in most other transit hubs.
What does the shelter need? How can the public help?
We really appreciate donations of clothing and other sundries at our 3550 Fannin address in Beaumont. We have an upcoming fundraiser on March the 7th that we really encourage our community partners to sign up for on our website under events. And just stay on top of our socials, see what we're up to and see what we're accomplishing in the community. And really what I would like to impart to everyone seeing this, if you see something, say something. If something gives you a gut feeling that something's wrong, our hotline is there at all times.
Yes. Hotline again, what's the number?
409-832-7575, and that's 24 hours. We speak Spanish. Habla español.
All righty. Right there on your screen. John, thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you very much,
Such a
Erica.
very important topic for sort of giving us a little bit more insight on the situation.
Excellent. Thank you so much.
All right.